Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Arena on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast today. Boated up here just below Trout Hollow. I don't think I've ever done one cast in this area before, but it's out of the sun. And it's just a different place to go. It's not too far from the house. There are a lot of fish rising in this area. There's a little bit of a midge hatch coming off. Well, they're jumping up above me. Today is Sunday the 23rd of December, and they're still running that half unit of water. Sound like a broken record. I'm going to throw a 16th ounce. It's a PJ's. Same one I threw yesterday, black and olive. Blackhead 2-pound line. See if there's any fish that are hungry for a jig here, I guess. The old River Lake Sun Valley is down below me, or where it used to be. A little history there. Marsh's family stayed at Blue Haven. A lot of times her grandparents would stay down at Blue Haven, the Wooleries. They lived, there's a fish. They lived out at Mullinville, Kansas, out on Highway 400, just this side of Dodge City. They're farmers. And little rainbow. Here's Dave's parents, Marcia's dad. And then before we were married, I know we came and stayed at Sun Valley. Oh shoot. At least I got one cast in. That's a 2-pound line. Let's do one jig off. Hang on, let me tie another jig on. I'm gonna throw a few more times. Tied the jig back on, but I didn't thread. And this jig head's not gonna go through all those things, so. Back in a minute. Okay, got everything strung up. I'm put on a 16th ounce black and a brown jig with a brown head. As I was saying, I remember staying at Sun Valley with Marcia's family. I'm almost positive it was before we were married. It could have been after we were married. It's hard to say. It's when Dale and Maggie Rowland owned it. And I even remember the cabin we stayed in. And I remember fishing with Dave. He kind of introduced me to, well, I know he did, introduced me to fishing out of a boat, Taneycomo. Never done it before. And I remember being real excited when they started running water, because that's what we did. We'd get out and drift with salmon eggs and night crawlers. I don't remember fishing very much. When the water was off. We only fished it when the water was running. That would have been in 81. And then when we were looking at resorts to buy, before we bought Rosadero, we looked at River Lake Resort. Alan Thompson had it at that time, and we actually had a contract to buy River Lake Resort. And if I remember right, it was it was earlier in 1983, in the winter of 1983. And our contract was canceled when Bob Klein came up with his money and stepped in and bought the resort from Allen. So Bob was there, maybe it was in '82. I think he was there a year before he bought. Anyhow, it's a little bit of history. They're not liking this black and brown one quite as much as that olive one. Let's see, can you see? There's Brett Rader's old house. And then the house next to his house is the one that burned here last year. He and his family were very fortunate to get out of that house after it caught on fire. They haven't done anything with it yet. Brett was renting. It did not belong to him. Brett is a guide. He's one of our good friends and fishing guide on the lake. Well, the midges are really coming off, but I'm not getting bit. Of course, Trout Hollow used to be called Tacoma. Tacoma? Yeah, I think it was Tacoma. Maybe somebody can help me on that. I think it was called something else even before that. These resorts have been here since the 50s. I'm pretty sure that River Lake and Tacoma were around at about the time that Table Rock was built, Table Rock Dam, in 1958. Again, if you know the history of those resorts, comment. This is really nice. It's just such a nice flow when they run this half unit. And of course you can drift a night crawler, drift some bait. You can use a jig or a pink worm under a float. You can throw a jig. There's just so many things you can do when they run this half unit of water. And you're covering, you're covering a lot of water just by drifting real slow. I'll let this one go a little deeper. It's about 9 or 10 feet deep here. I caught a fish on my first cast and I really thought it was going to be a nice little 10 minutes of fishing, but I'm going to throw out this other side. Got the camera. Of course, it's a little shallower over here, but it's not too bad. And then closer to the bank over there, there's a lot of snags, a lot of trees that are down. Always been a lot of trees down on that side. It's actually good throwing little stick baits and spoons and stuff around, because you might catch a bass that's hiding in there, or even a brown trout. Fish are midging right over here. I'm gonna throw one more time. I'm not gonna let it sink this time. See if I can get one that's closer to the surface. You can see them over there midging. Wow, look there. He was midging just where I was throwing. Ah, I had him. One more time. Some right over here. I could throw these things all day. Well, I'll go ahead and sign off. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. There he is. Jumper.